Hey guys, just wanted to show you my project that I'm working on today. This is the Rapidair compressor piping system that I purchased from Eastwood. I think it was about 129, I think it was. Basically what it is you can, instead of using steel pipe, the pipe around in your your workspace, you can use this flex tubing, in which you can look here on this diagram, where you can actually run this through walls, on the outside of walls. You can even run it behind the wall, and it's real easy to do. All you have to do is just draw a diagram of the area that you need to pipe your lines to, and all of the necessary fittings that you're going to need. So looking at the diagram here on the box, you can see here that this is a drain valve here. You get two of those, which is what they're showing here. This is one of the connectors. You don't get the compression fitting. You don't get this here, even though it's showed on here. That you don't get. You also get the compression outlet, which is this here. I'll show you all the pieces. And then you also get these union elbows, and this right here is compression manifold. This part here does not come with it, and you also get this is an actual stop where you can actually, this is actually a plug, it's metal, which you can plug any holes that you're not going to be running air through. So if you look here, this actually lists everything. You can see it. This lists everything. You get all of these different parts here, and I'll take you over to the parts so you can actually see them. So hold on. So these are all the parts that come in the box. So you get 6 union elbows. This right here, this was a test. I cut this just to try to see how it would fit, and how easy it is to cut. This is the tool here. This is the cutter. It actually works really good, and it cuts it real fine, which you can see here. If my camera will focus, there's no shavings or anything like that. You get 12 hose fastener. These are 1/4. You get 3 stoppers here. Here's 2 of the drain valves. These are 2 of the compression outlets here. This is the compressor outlet, a manifold. I'm sorry, right here. These right here are this is how the system works. So basically, all you have to do is you insert the tubing in here, and as you can see, it clicks. You push this in, insert the tubing, probably about maybe I don't know, maybe 3/8 inches inside. Let this go, and it forms a tight seal. It's supposed to be really easy. And these right here are, I forgot what those were called here. Don't even remember now. But you get 2 of those. These are for the actual manifold here, and you get 100 feet of this 1x4 tubing. Now, this extra stuff that I bought a 3-foot hose here. This is a 3/8 inch. I also bought some extra 3/8 inch clamps here. I also bought from Harbor Freight 2 moisture separators. So from what I read, from the way these are supposed to work, is they're supposed to drain on their own. I'm not quite sure how it does that. It didn't say anything in the directions. I'm going to assume that maybe when it gets to a certain pressure or a certain amount of water in here, that they'll drain. And then also I've got these street elbows. I bought 4 of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use them, but I bought them anyway just to have them, just in case, because they didn't cost a lot of money. Okay, so let me show you my diagram. So this is kind of a rough diagram of how I'm going to pipe everything. So right here you can see this is my air compressor, and the 3-foot hose, 3/8 hose that I have is going to go from the air compressor. It's going to go around the back of it, and it's going to go to the first compressed air outlet, which is going to be on the inside stud in our garage. And then I'm going to pipe it all the way up over, and what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut it because it's flexible, the hose is flexible, and then I'm going to bring it all the way down, and then down here is I'm going to have instead of having the drain valve there, I'm going to have one of those moisture traps there, which is going to account as a drain valve. Then I'm going to come out, go up, over, and then down again. Then I'm going to have another drain valve there, which is going to be the moisture trap. And then I also have a dryer receiver, which I'll show you that when I get to that point, because I still have it in the box. And then once it goes through there, it's going to go up again, and then this is our service door when we walk in. I'm gonna have it piped right above it, and then this is our small overhead door, and it's going to go up that. And then these are up in the rafters here, so it's going to come all the way up here to where, somewhere over in this area, where this is where I have my hose reel, and I'm going to have another airport right here. So theoretically, yeah, it should work. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll show you everything when I'm done. Okay, so I am finally done. It took me about 6 hours to complete the total installation of the hose reel plus the Rapidair airline. So I'm just going to give you a quick setup. I'm sorry, man, I'm tired. Give you just an overview of what I did. So this is the 3/8 3-foot hose connected to the air compressor. So it goes all the way back here to where, as you can see, that's the air connector manifold, and there on the bottom is a drain valve, which I probably won't be using, but because I didn't have anything else to plug that hole, I decided to just use it anyway. So then I just went ahead and went up all the way on the inside of the 2x4 and went all the way up to the top. I had moved all of this stuff here, so I put it back so you can't see, but it went all the way to the top, curved over, and then if you can see right there, it came all the way down. Okay, and then right here, I was only able to use one of the water traps because I didn't have enough of these connectors here. If you remember, I mentioned that I have an actual another desiccant filter, water trap, that I'm going to need 2 of these here. So because they only gave me 4, I was only able to use them on this one here. And what I found out is that when this actually stays open, but when the system is pressurized, probably around, I don't know, maybe 50 psi, the down here, it actually closes, probably because of the pressure that's built up in there. So when I shut the air compressor off and I let the air out of the actual system, not out of the tank, but out of the actual system, by turning off the regulator valve, this actually purges automatically. So now I got to see how it actually works. And because I didn't want to put any wood back here because I didn't want this to stick out any further, I just used some zip ties with some screws to hold this in place, and it's pretty secure. So then I just went on ahead and went up again on this side, all the way up to the top, and came down all the way to the bottom here. And what I was doing at first, this is the electrical piping here. You see it right here. First at the top, I was having a hard time trying to screw the brackets on. So what I did was I decided to just use zip ties. And that made it faster to get through there. So then down here, again, I didn't break the line. I just looped it around and made it follow all the way up. And right here is where I'm going to put my big incandescent filter, which I'll show you. It's right here. And the reason why I didn't install it is because the shutoff valve on this side, this is a 1/2 inch. And the fittings on the Rapidair system is 3/8. So, I've got to buy actually 2 female adapters. One on this side, a 1/2 inch to a 3/8 inch female. And then on this side, I need an adapter, a female for this one here too. I think this is, I don't know, I think this was 1/4. So it's going to have to be a 1/4 to 3/8 adapter. So I was kind of bummed out about that. I was really looking forward to, just having this hooked up, but that's okay. So back over here. So I just kind of looped it around because when I cut the hose, I should have enough to be able to connect it because the filter is going to go right here. So then I just went all the way up and pulled it through again. I used zip ties on the piping, went all the way across. Then I went up there to the that 2x6 there up in the rafters, and again I haven't, I didn't cut any of the line all the way over to where you can see the manifold right there, and where there's that other 3-foot 3/8 inch hose that's hooked up to the hose reel, and that one also has a drain valve on it too as well. So all in all, it worked out real well. Just took more time than I thought. So you guys have a blessed day. All right, bye-bye. I went on ahead and finished up the whole system by installing both of the water traps here, this one here, and then this one over here. And what it does is, if you want to release the water when there's pressure in the system, you just pull it down and it comes out. I assume it purges the water out on its own. I'm not sure when, because actually I have stuff that sits on top of here, so I don't necessarily hear when the water actually comes out. But when I release the pressure out of the system, these open up, both of them at about 50 psi. And then here I finally got the air filter and dryer installed. And yeah, it actually works really good. Since the beginning of the video, I think I've used all of this stuff for about the last 4, maybe 5 months. And actually I forgot that I didn't finish the video, so I'm just coming back now. So as you can see, it has its own individual shutoff valve here. It has its own regulator here, which I really don't use this. Actually, I could have left this off, but I said, you know what, I'm going to install it on there since I had the room for it. And as you see, it's affixed to this wood here, so it's pretty sturdy. So the system actually works really well. I'm pleased with it. No leaks or anything like that, and not much loss of PSI as it travels through all of the piping here, and even the 50-foot hose reel that I have, or 50-foot hose that I have. The recovery is pretty good. So I really like the system. As I said, I've been using it now for I forgot when I installed this, but I installed it in the winter time. I think it was in January, and now we're in July, so I've had a chance to test it out in the cold weather and even in the warmer weather. It's been about 100 degrees in the garage here at times. So you guys have a blessed day. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.